Mama said good things come free. Do what you can and be what you need. We never had much, but we figured it out. 'Cause when you've got nothing, there's nothing to chop out. She would say, oh, oh, don't hit me with your stuff. Think you got money, you got something. Oh, oh, just hit me with love. You ain't got love and you ain't got nothing. Oh, oh, don't hit me with your stuff. Say you got money, you think that that's something. Oh, oh, just hit me with love. You ain't got love, then you ain't got nothing. Oh, my love, I see your mouth, she knows, yes.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for Inside Cottonwood today. I'm your host, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. And as you could tell by the promo, as the lead-in, it's Tilted Earth season. And, you know, it's one of those time periods that we get a sneak peek looking into Tilted Earth as it comes up this year on the 16th, 17th, and 18th of June. And so we've added an extra day, and we'll be talking with Eric Glomsky, who's founder and director of Wine Making and at the Page Springs Cellars in Page Springs, Arizona. And we'll find out a little bit more about Page Springs as well. And also with us has Alan, our Recreation Center Services Supervisor of the city's Recreation Center and Outdoor Recreation Special Events and Youth Program activities. So I'd like to welcome both of you gentlemen this morning. And as you can tell, right here we have this set up, and no, we're drinking water here, but this is wine. And because it is, this is an incredible opportunity that has transpired and happened over the last 7 to 8 years that we've seen the wine industry, actually 10 years probably, here in northern Arizona actually grow. And it's actually burgeoning, if you will. I always knew about southern Arizona and the opportunities down at Wilcox area, and so now we're also seeing everything transpire and happening here. And this is the second time Eric, I'm pleased to have you on the show here, and we can talk somewhat as it pertains to Page Springs as well as Tilted Earth today. So in the first segment here, I wanted to kind of launch off and just basically identify that Cottonwood and Page Springs Cellars and the entire wine industry are on a countdown to the third annual Tilted Earth Special Event Program at Riverfront Park once again this year. And somewhat different from last year's program, this event will be held over a 3-day period with the incredible amount of things that are going to be going on. We'll be talking about those incredible things and those events within the event, and many venues that are different from last year. So Eric, again, it's my pleasure. I wanted to kind of give everybody a little bit of a lead in as it pertains to, I know you're a very humble individual, and but I'm gonna get you on this one. The Governor's Conference on Tourism and Office on Tourism just awarded you the Distinguished Award as Tourism Champion of the Year for Arizona, and I wanted to congratulate you on that personally. I think that is just incredible. In the Verde Independent, it specifically identified, as they stated, to earn Tourism Champion of the Year, Eric Glomsky made our community stand out by advocating for Verde Valley tourism. And that's one thing that, you know, and it wasn't just that article that made me know who you are in that context of things, but for the last couple years that I've known you, that's one thing that you really specifically honor all of us by talking about Cottonwood, Verde Valley in northern Arizona. And so congratulations on that. Also, from information I've got here, every year, the Scottsdale League of Arts recognizes some of the top professionals in the local food and beverage industry with an induction into the Arizona Culinary Hall of Fame. And the Culinary Hall of Fame named you as nominee for Winemaker of the Year. And so again, congratulations with that as well. In your statement on Page Springs website, you indicated we have a wine center philosophy. The market is not driving our winemaking, quality is. My wines are an expression of the place that I call home. What makes this place in Arizona so special to you? That's what I want to know.
Oh,
why is that? I mean, that tells a lot.
Time in the show.
I mean, really. I mean, but it's really a unique thing, and I'm really pleased that you're here with us because it's my honor to have you here. So, what does make this special to you, this area?
Well, gosh, the funny thing is, I moved here from Boston. I more or less grew up in the Boston area, born in Chicago. And I moved here to go to college. I went to college in Prescott, and I can't even tell you, I just absolutely fell in love with the Southwest and Arizona specifically, and central and northern Arizona to even refine it further. I don't know whether it was just the time of my life or what I was studying and all the stars aligned. Who knows? Right. But I think as a young man, and I moved here when I was 20 years old. I started just kind of expanding, my consciousness, my perception. I just started paying attention, really, and it happened here in Arizona. And even though I was born in Chicago, raised in Boston, I consider Central Arizona and Northern Arizona my home. Most of the most profound things that have happened in my life: the birth of my children, some of the greatest outdoor, almost quasi-spiritual experiences I've ever had. My marriage to my wife, Gail, happened here, and founding Page Spring Cellars in Arizona Stronghold, and what does it all come down to? It feels like home. I have a sense of place here, a sense of belonging and connectedness, and there's no doubt that the people and, working with Hez, working with you, Doug Bartosh.
Yeah, I was going to say Doug, yeah.
Being in a community and seeing that other people have the same values as you and they care about their fellow human beings, and we have a community here, and that's really what it's all about.
It is, and I'm glad to share that with you, because you sharing that with all of us. Tell us a little bit about Page Springs Winery and Cellars.
Okay, I mean, I founded Page Springs in early 2004. And I had worked at other wineries, always with the intention of, opening my own place someday. So I went to other wineries. I worked, tirelessly, but I always told everybody, hey, I'm going to go and do my own thing someday. So when we founded Page Springs, and I don't know if you've ever been in another winery tasting room, but I've never seen anybody else do this, but we have our mission statement up on the wall. And the really cool thing for me is looking back at this mission statement and going, wow, actually we've accomplished a lot of these things. Obviously it's never ending, but in Tilted Earth, for instance, is one facet of that, because like I said, we're winocentric in the sense that that's our core. That's what we do. We're winemakers, but I believe the winemaking and everything that it's connected to fosters community and culture, responsibility to your fellow humans, for responsibility to the land you live on, etc. Right. So, Page Springs, we're in our 12th, going on our 13th year now, and we've continued to have a philosophy that also focuses on environmental stewardship. We're 85% solar powered now.
Wow.
We farm organically largely. There's always a little exceptions, I have to be honest about that. And we continue, I think every year our wines are better and better, and we have a huge following now. We have a wine club that's full, and we have a wait list for it. Our tasting room is very busy. We have amazing food. In fact, we grow a lot of the produce for our kitchen right on our own land now, so we're really proud of that. And I've got an amazing staff, and these things are never one person. I have an amazing staff in the vineyard, in the cellar, administratively, financially, and then obviously in the trenches are all of our salespeople in our tasting room. So we're a team out there for sure, and a family.
And it's an incredible experience actually. You even go out there and you definitely walk some of the trail systems that you've got out through there, but actually even sit down. It's such a welcomed environment. I don't know how you guys do what you do, but I mean, and I've watched you, and you didn't know I was there except for maybe later on, but it was one of those where you guys are all so busy, and you're serving other people, and it's just it's amazing to see. I mean, you've got, your wine club membership. You've got your tasting room. You've got music Friday and Saturday evenings and Sunday afternoons. And you got wine flights and library wine menus and weekly specials, shopping online. Man, I mean, people can go online at pagespringcellars.com and there's so many alternate areas where you can go and find out about.
Yes, you are. Massage,
and I was going to go on, and you've got yoga and massage. And Gail is
my wife,
your director of massage. She's your wife. She stated on your webpage that one of the many things that attracts me to Eric, one of the many, is that his description of wine is my description of yoga and massage, sharing the love of an ancient art with people to feel a deep sense of appreciation for everything and everyone. What are the other things that
she should be sitting here? That's very poetic.
No, your tours are really unique too. Tell us a little bit about your tours here before we go on break.
Well, it's interesting. So Luke Bernard, who his official title is brand ambassador, and Luke's part of the team here putting together Tilted Earth. Luke really developed this part of our company, and what it really came down to is people had so many questions, and the busier our tasting room got, the harder it was to kind of usher them through different parts of what we do. And winemaking is such a diverse and fascinating kind of art. Luke said, I think we're missing an opportunity here. And so he basically formed our tours department, which has just been, going through the roof. And it's awesome because, we give, an hour and a half long tour, which works its way all the way from the vineyard through the initial crushing and production process, all the way into the cellar, tasting wines, of course, all on the way, and then barrel sampling in the cellar at the end.
That's awesome.
So it's a very thorough tour. I've had numerous people say, look, I've been to Napa, Sonoma, I've been to France. This was the best winery tour I've ever had. So we're really trying to, it's easy to think Arizona's not Napa, it's not Bordeaux. In fact, I think some things we might even be doing better.
There you go. I agree with that too. I think it's almost kind of like Cottonwood. We really try to excel at everything we do, and we do things better than other people. Yeah. I mean, even our department, we believe the same way. Our mission statement is like yours. We fulfilled so much in Parks and Recreation and Community Services, but it's never ending. And so we just continue on, and we continue to focus on what can we do better to serve our community. With that, I'm going to take a 1-minute break, and we'll have you back here, and we'll talk a little bit more with Eric and with Alan as it pertains to both Page Springs and Tilted Earth upcoming. I'm your host today, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. I'm Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. With me today for Inside Cottonwood, we have Eric Glomsky, and we also have Hez Allen, and we're discussing a lot as it pertains to Page Springs Cellars and Tilted Earth program, and what makes it so great. I mean, we've expanded to three days from 2. Real quick, I want to just identify this. You're going to go on a trip in July with Sam Pillsbury.
Right.
And the Arizona Winemakers Bordeaux River Cruise is set for July 2017. Oh my my goodness.
Correct.
That's
Yeah, so
got to
a
be
year
just
from this
exciting.
July,
Okay, yeah, it's 2017, but
Yeah.
gives everybody an idea that, wow, there's there's up and coming stuff even with that.
Yeah.
And that's a year in advance here. So just wanted to bring that up.
Thank you.
Tilt, as we move into discussion for the upcoming Tilted Earth program on June 16th through the 18th, tell us where the name and the concept originate.
You know, I actually used to own a little house in Old Town that my wife and I fixed up, and we ended up selling it to some friends because they stayed there more than us. It was kind of a second home, and dinky, but really neat. And what we would do is we'd use that house as the place where we'd go and be creative. So I grabbed a handful of my staff and we said, we need to name this festival, And so we brought a few bottles of wine and we were there for hours. And at a base level, what is wine making? It's farming. I mean, a good chunk of what we do is growing grapes. Well, so we wanted to have something anchored in the idea of farming and agriculture, and all agriculture is based on the seasons and the changes in the earth. And it just so happens that I threw out the idea of tilted earth because I used to teach ecology over in Prescott, at Prescott College, and you learn that the reason we have seasons is that the earth is tilted on its axis 23.5 degrees. As a lot of people think we have seasons because the earth has an elliptical orbit around the sun, but that's not actually it. It's the tilt of the earth, and the rays of the sun either hit it direct, which is a warm season, or it hits it at an oblique angle, which diffuses the infrared over a larger area and things get cooler. So there you have it, tilted
That's
earth.
it.
And the cool thing is it kind of gets people thinking too, what is this? So,
Right.
so it's educational at the same time, and it's kind of a cool name,
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. And then it's on over the context of June 16th, 17th, and 18th.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right there. It's right at the summer solstice time frame. So
And originally the first event was right on the solstice, but unfortunately the solstice is during the week, on a weekday this year,
Right.
so we had to kind of jigger it and at least push it to the
you
closest
go.
weekend. It's close enough,
So who are the major sponsors?
Well, if we look beyond kind of the city of Cottonwood and Page Springs,
There we go, yeah. Let's
Great
go beyond that.
collaboration. Right now, I would say Hensley Beverage Company, Quench Fine Wines, is tops. They've been not only provided funding, but they've been doing printing and banners and social media outreach, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a huge one. Four Peaks Brewing is a big one.
Yeah.
That brewery is a sponsor as well. There's a handful of small businesses, but who've given large contributions that are honestly not even super concerned about getting publicity. They just want to see this thing happen. A really great friend of mine, Gary Bethune, he's an attorney down in Phoenix, was a big contributor. Gamage and Burnham, Tim Martins, who's been one of the attorneys from Gamage and Burnham, is doing pro bono legal work for us, in addition to contributing some funding. Locally, Verve Events and Rentals is a contributor. See, I don't want to forget anybody. This is important stuff.
I know.
Reliance Printing in Flagstaff is going to be doing all of our big stage banners, and which is excellent. I don't want to forget anybody. I should have put together a list.
You got Taylor and Paget,
Taylor-
Vault and Legacy Strategies.
Yeah, Taylor and Paget actually. Painted Lady Vineyards is a small Gewürztraminer vineyard over in Skull Valley on the other side of Prescott, and one of Painted Lady's owners, Jody Paget, it provides financial services, and she's a sponsor as well.
All right.
Let's see, Hanshin Fine Art in
There you go.
Tlaquepaque, another wine club member at Page Springs who's just trying to foster art and music. He'll actually have a booth at the event. He's an amazing artist.
That's great.
Let's see.
You have AMA Waterways.
Yeah, AMA Waterways, who's actually the company that Sam and I are going to be doing the cruise with.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
and just recently, some new additions. Cliff Castle Casino is providing rooms for all of our talent, which is amazing, as well as Sedona Rouge and Adobe Grand Villas.
Okay.
So we've got. And we can go on and on. Maybe you can add some heads. It's really a community production.
We can't forget Yavapai Broadcasting.
That's right. Yeah, of
100.1.
Yeah.
And then, Yavapai Fence is stepping up this year.
AGM Power Systems.
Exactly.
You'd already mentioned, now the Four Peaks Brewing
And,
that brewery and all of them. Now, is there going to be beer out there this year?
Well, when we did a survey last year, because again, certainly we have our ideas artistically about this event, but when you make wine, if nobody drinks it, what good is it?
Yeah.
If you have a festival and nobody comes, so we did a survey last year,
Right.
really that has set up, and a lot of people said they were hoping to see beer at the festival. And if you've noticed, actually, although some of it's kind of held on, we've changed it to the Tilted Earth Festival rather than the Tilted Earth Wine and Music Festival, because we have beer and other things are starting to happen. So
Right.
people basically in the survey said we like to have beer, and so that's
So
what
local
we've done.
breweries and stuff too.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you can enjoy both, but it's kind of nice because I think you've indicated we've got them set apart off of both sides of the stage area. We've got the wine then set up. It's going to be a totally different setup this year.
Yeah.
And so it's actually going to be tilted in the opposite direction from where we're. Sorry about
We're in
that.
third year. We've got the stage moves every
but
year.
We are,
Yeah.
and we're realistically we're looking at doing something to where we're going to make an earthen stage, and we hope that comes to fruition before next year because it would just be awesome. So we're working on that. So you also have major partnerships with Arizona Stronghold Vineyards and Burning Tree Cellars, Affogato, handcrafted beverages, Big Brothers and Sisters, Burgers Amor, Chateau Tumbleweed, Galifant Cellars, Fire Mountain, Dry River Yacht Club, and Friends of the Verde Greenway, and many more. All these people have something in common. Why do you partnership with them?
Well, certainly the wineries on there, these are our Northern Arizona wineries. These
Right.
are all my friends, my colleagues. One of our initial reasons for pulling this together was to help kind of continue to catapult the Northern Arizona wine industry into the future. And then and we're so inexplicably tied to all these other people. If you have wine and beer, you've got to have food, right? And then while you're enjoying your gourmet, hot dog and drinking a beer.
That's right.
Wouldn't it be great to have an artist right here?
That's right.
You can check out, so I think again, these people are all connected by a sense of place. This is all Arizona, very local, and it's funny. Actually, everybody who came last year were all lining up to come again this year.
Okay.
So because this event was successful financially for everybody involved, all of our vendors. But if you really talk to them, they all said we're coming back because it had such a great vibe last year. It was the texture, the feel, the atmosphere, the vibe of the event, and everybody felt like they were part of something meaningful and important. So that's really, and that's something you can't really. It's not a dollar sign. You can't put your finger on it, but everybody knows what it is. So that's really why everybody's coming back.
It is, and it's the constant relationship, and I think everybody does take ownership in the community, and it really is a neat thing because it's fun to watch that excitement with people, and so it's an amazing thing. So
it's what community. It's community, right?
And as we talk about that, we made the change. So we're doing. We've got Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. What's going on Thursday night?
So Thursday. So the previous year we had these decentralized wine dinners where Page Springs was over at Harry's Hideaway, Burning Tree was at Schoolhouse, Stronghold was at Red Rooster, etc. And we thought that was neat because originally I was thinking, how you hear about Mardi Gras or the Jazz Fest in New Orleans, and you hear about all the bands playing before. The actual big festival and these little bars and stuff. And I still think we'd like to see that happen, Build this thing to a point where all kinds of things, whether it be wine, food, beer, music, are happening before and after and in and around, and the kind of party goes on,
I love that. Yeah.
And at the same time, we thought, wouldn't it be cool if we could have a big gathering and do a big winemaker dinner back to this idea community where everybody was in the same place at the same time. And we started talking with Lori at the Blazing M Ranch, and her dining hall can seat 200. And the idea of any one of these chefs trying to pull off a several course winemaker dinner for 200 seemed kind of daunting. So we came up with the idea of let's do 6 courses, 6 chefs, 6 wineries. That way each winery and chef would create a pairing, and they'd only have to, it would be easy to handle one piece of this. And so right now, Monday we're going to hopefully finalize most of this, but we have Page Springs Cellars, Arizona Stronghold, Burning Tree, Pillsbury, Fire Mountain, and Chateau Tumbleweed. Those will be the 6 wineries.
Wow.
And thus far committed in the world of chefs, we have Rochelle Daniels from L'Auberge. We have Chris Dabrowski from Schoolhouse. We have Chris Wolf from the Arizona Culinary Institute. He's head instructor and chef there. He's going to bring up all the students, and they're going to take care of the back of the house and all the service for us as well at this event. And then I'm currently in conversations with Nicole Jurison, Abby from Abby's Kitchen, Harry from Harry's Hideaway, and a couple other chefs. So we still have to nail down those last couple, but this Monday that should all happen.
How exciting.
Yeah, the only other thing I'd add is the name of the event, the Henry Sherman Commemorative Dinner.
Right.
Quick, Cliff Notes version. Henry Sherman was a winemaker during the turn of the century down at Red Rock Crossing up towards Sedona, and he was actually shut down during Prohibition. He was growing Zinfandel out there.
Oh my!
And I've got pictures. I've been meeting with his great grandson and great granddaughter, and they've showed me pictures of his 2-story stone winery, his acres of Zinfandel. He was put on house arrest in 1920 for making wine. He was a German immigrant. Can you imagine getting thrown into jail for making wine?
Yes, I know.
And obviously he died in the 20s, but he was really the great grandfather of our Verde Valley wine industry, and we're going to have a number of members of his family attending, and I think we'll even have a short presentation by one of the great grandchildren, and maybe kind of a background slideshow and video showing some pictures of this kind of era winemaking.
That's great history.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
great.
cool, huh?
Yeah, it really is. And then having the genealogy background and having all of that right there, that'll be great. Having the family there too. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be back with Eric Glomsky and Hez Allen. We're talking a little bit more about the intricacies right involved with the Tilted Earth Festival and what's going on. We're going to take a short break. I'm Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. We'll be right back.
Hey Gabby, how you doing? How's the play date and sleepover?
Dad, it was great.
Awesome. Okay, I'm on my way. Hey guys, what are you doing?
We're going swimming. We're going biking. Yeah!
I'll see you in a little bit, guys. I love you.
Hi, babe. How was school today?
Hi, Dad. It was great.
Okay, honey. I'll be home soon. Remember, you're never too far away from your kids to be a dad. Reach out and take a second to check in, because sometimes the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. I'm Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. We have Eric Glomsky and Hezekiah Allen here with us, talking Tilted Earth. And I'm going to be going into a little bit more detail here as to our third segment and final segment. Costs have really broadened out from where they were last year. There's so many things that you can go online and pick out as to what you want to do throughout the day or the days. And there's packages, there's all kinds of specials. Again, in advance, I would indicate if you're going to do this, make sure that you get online in advance. And what else do you have to tell us about that? Eric?
First there's basically there's a little column that says buy them way out or way in advance, and then there'll be a pricing for 2 weeks out and then the day of. And probably the most notable things are this year we have a really deep discount for locals, and that's for Cottonwood locals. So you have to show a local ID. We have great packages. You can get 2-day passes, general admission. You can get 2-day VIP. You can even link up the VIP with the wine dinner. Additionally, we have camping and both tent camping and RV camping this year. We have a variety of parking options farther out, closer in, and we're even working on, and we hope to have this finalized here very shortly, on quote-unquote glamping, which is kind of a new thing to me.
What is glamping? Yeah.
Well, the word itself, glamour camping.
Yeah, there you go.
Picture at its extreme, of hedonism. Picture a big, beautiful tent with a queen or king-size bed with air conditioning and a hot tub.
Oh my goodness sakes, that's just crazy.
It's going to be at the ball field. So I believe the first tier will be a really nice tent with a really nice bed. all the way up to what I just described, and it's going to be on the ball fields. There'll be a designated, very close-in parking lot just for that. And so we have, we're really excited to have on-site camping options.
Yeah, you can walk so easily to and from, and it's all grassed. It's an incredible area, so it's all lit up. That's awesome. Now let's talk real quick about who the artists are and the acts that are performing this year. Let's do Friday night and then also Saturday, because I know it says here that Pick and Holler, Side Stage, Decker, Jamie Ann Commons, Sister Sparrow, and the Dirty Birds. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
When you come into the festival, well, the stage is actually bigger this year than it was last year. We're hoping to do like a front thrust off the front of the stage so the acts can engage the crowd. There'll be a VIP section on the left side of the stage where VIPs can come up to the observation deck, sit and hang out, watch the artists like really, really close. And then on Friday evening, it'll be Sister Sparrow will be headlining it, and then Jamie Ann Commons will open up for Sister Sparrow. Jamie Ann Commons is getting a lot of foot traffic on YouTube, and that's kind of what kicked us off, because literally if you go on there, he's getting 2 to 3 million hits on every song he puts up, and we're like, we have to.
Yeah, I looked at him.
He's like a young Johnny Cash.
Yeah, I looked at him and I loved him right off the bat.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, oh my goodness sakes, we're going to get Jamie Ann Commons.
Yeah, and then Sister Sparrow on the flip side of that, it's a 7-piece band, and there's this little sassy gal up front who is just going nuts. And
soulful voice,
horn section, everything. And there's this whole movement of horn sections that's going on right now, which is pretty interesting, especially on the festival side. And then you go to Friday or Saturday, and we have Muddy Magnolias, which just got off tour with the Zac Brown Band. They're releasing a new album. 100.1 should be playing it here shortly. And they just played a festival between Zac Brown and Tedeschi and Trucks on live TV. They're going to open up for Taj Mahal, obviously the blues legend.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be incredible.
I'd add, local acts, Pick and Holler Bluegrass, Muskellunge Bluegrass, Dry River Yacht Club, Decker and Porungi drumming. We just have, it's so neat because we have some amazing Arizona talent, we have some amazing Verde Valley talent, and we have some amazing national talent. So,
I'm really excited about this year. I mean, because of, it's just really incredible what you guys have done in order to get these artists here.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm impressed. This is going to be
and you mentioned Taj?
Mention Taj, and then Pick and Holler. Eric said he's seen a lot of musicians. The best fiddle player you ever seen?
They have an amazing fiddle player, and the Aaron, who's the mandolin player from Muskellunge. So when we had Robert Earl Keen's guitarist came out, and he's one of the most fabulous guitarists I've ever seen. He came out in the audience. I was standing there, and he came up and we were talking. He goes, "Who is this guy on the mandolin?"
Yeah, that's fun.
And so when a pro, like a guy from Robert Earl's band, and this same guy's played with Alison Krauss and Tedeschi. I mean, this guy's amazing. Was just blown away by this local musician, and Aaron used to work at the Verde newspapers.
Oh,
that's
really?
Incredible.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Gee whiz. Well, okay. Well, now we're going to have a kids zone.
Yes.
So we have stuff for kids to do. Tell us a little bit, real quick.
So we'll have a rock wall. We'll have a gaming area with Guitar Hero. We're trying to figure out some other sections like face painting and digs and all kinds of stuff for kids to do when they come into the festival. So we really embrace the family atmosphere with this festival. Yeah. You can come see great music. A kid may see his first concert and see Taj Mahal as his first concert while he's on the rock wall climbing up the rock wall. So how special is that?
Face painting bounce room, and then we're going to have, especially for teens, because we feel like a lot of times there's this gap. There's adults with their little kids that they bring along. What do the teens get to do? That's the Guitar Hero, but we're going to have an extreme sports demonstration too.
There you go.
Where these guys on BMX bikes and a tabletop jump are going to be doing all kinds of stunts. So there'll be something really engaging for teens as well. That's very real and very compelling.
Yeah. On top of that, if you would like, they're going to do a dunk tank.
Okay.
All the Arizona winery.
We're going to have a winemaker dunk tank, but local celebrities, we'd love to get in that dunk tank.
Are you going to do it, Richard?
The mayor and everybody?
Yeah. Rumor has it Tim Alinsky's hopefully going to be in there.
Yeah, we'll get them all. We'll get everybody in there. So that sounds great.
It's going to be filled with wine, though.
Tell us, real quick about philanthropy, because you do so much and you give so much. Who are your selected people this year?
So specifically this year, it's Yavapai Big Brothers and Sisters again, and Prescott Creeks Preservation Association, which, so basically kids and environment. And Yavapai Big Brothers and Sisters and Prescott Creeks have teamed up to run the silent auction this year. So we'll have all kinds of amazing art, wines, wine packages, tours, experiences, wine dinners, and this year, which I think is going to be awesome, they're downloading or they're creating a little site where when you walk in, you can download an app in like 2 minutes, and all the bidding can happen on this app on your phone. So you can still do it by hand, just like old-fashioned way. But if you really want to get in, there's going to be certain items that are really popular that you'll be able to bid on your phone.
How
which
fun!
Is really cool.
That's great.
And of course, I mean, last year, one of the awards we got was for the stream simulation table that Prescott Creeks brought, which was this big trailer full of sand, and they have a water pump system and all these little models, and they can model flooding and tip this thing and teach kids, although I saw a lot of adults in there edging kids out, and learn about flooding. And how cool is that, given that we're actually in the Verde floodplain for this event? And then, of course, Yavapai Big Brothers and Sisters. I mean, what an amazing organization.
It is. So it really is.
And Prescott Creeks, that's the headwaters for the Verde?
It is. Yeah. So all the decisions they're making over there in Prescott are the first impacts on the Verde, which is we have the longest stretch of free-flowing river on the Verde than any river left in the state.
In the state of Arizona. That's right.
Pretty special.
It is very special. Well, as we close out here, I just want to say thank you again, because what an incredibly special venue that this is going to be for everyone on June 16th, 17th, and 18th. And if you don't have reservations now about getting your packages and things together, I would just challenge you to get on board right now and go online. And it's been on several times now as to where you go online. So tiltedearthfestival.com. You can go to pagespringsellers.com. You can go all to those places, but make sure that that's what you're going to do on that weekend and set it aside, because it's nice going out on the cool nights down there at Riverfront Park in the grass and enjoying the music, enjoying the wine, enjoying the people of the Verde Valley, as well as a lot of people that come up from the Phoenix area. It's just an incredible time, and it's one of the most special events we have here in the Verde Valley in Cottonwood, Arizona. So enjoy that as you have the time and make the time. I'm your host today. Thank you for being here and joining us, and welcome to Cottonwood and Tilted Earth as we set that out there for everyone. Enjoy your day and enjoy your weekend. Thank you again for joining us for Inside Cottonwood.